Hey, Bob. So I wanted to send you a little video, just recapping the exercise that we did, the little breathing exercise that we did, and then show you another one too that you might find helpful. Again, as we just as we uncovered in your assessment, we just want to make sure when we have you lift, that your ribs and pelvis are as aligned as we possibly can, and that breath is so important to ensure. Right, the more we have that good outward expansion upon inhalation, the less hard or the less the stabilizing muscles have to work in order to keep your joints in their proper position when you go to move them and you under load, right? We call it centration. The more that we're able to keep those joints centered, and the better we're able to keep those joints centered upon load. So that's why that inhale is so important. And then managing the control of the release of that breath or the release of that expansion. You're managing the pressure in what we call the thoracopelvic cylinder, or your rib cage and your pelvis. You're managing that pressure with the breath and the release of that breath in order to optimize the position of the joint. So the two exercises that the exercise that we did, I'm going to show you another one that we can add to this, is this ball breathing or ball 90-90 position. And I forget, I think we had a pattern underneath your head. I use one. It just helps kind of optimize your position, because what we want to do, like we discussed, right? The thumb and the pinky finger on the ribs and on the pelvis. We want to stack the ribs and the pelvis so that my diaphragm and my pelvic floor are lined up. Normally, for me, my passive resting state of tone, I'm going to actually arch a little bit, so my diaphragm is going to go in one direction, my pelvic floor is going to go in the other. So the cue that I like to use with this is think tail slightly tucked, back relatively flat, ribs gently down. Right? I want to line myself up to where my knees are a little bit in front of my hips and my ankles are a little bit above my knees. You don't have to necessarily use a ball, but I find more of a soft cushion tends to help. So like a couch or your bed or something like that. But just anything where your knees can become slightly in front of your hips and your ankles slightly above your knees. Again, tail tucked, back flat, ribs down gently. I don't want to push my low back into the floor, but I want a little bit. I want to bias towards, again, this rib cage and pelvis stack position. A little bit of tuck in the chin, so I'm lengthening through the back of the neck. Okay, a little tuck in the pelvis, so I'm lengthening through the lower back. Then I like to make a little C in reverse C, a little ring with your thumb and index finger. We're going to place it around your waist. So if you find your low ribs, and just bring your thumbs just down, just underneath your low ribs. And then think about inhaling into that space. So at first, all I want you to do is focus on your inhalation. Exhale all the air out of your lungs, every last drop. Silent, slow, and smooth. Nice full inhale in through your nose. Exhale all the air out of your lungs. Again, silent, slow, and smooth. Nice full inhale in through your nose. And as you inhale, I want you to sense that expansion upon inhalation. And really feel free to move your hands around to see if that inhalation is fairly even. That's what we're hunting for. We're hunting for this 360-degree expansion of your lower ribs, lower torso, pelvis upon inhalation. So go for a couple of breaths just like that, Bob, like 3 to 5. You can exhale like you're fogging up a window pane, or just exhale naturally at first. But I want you to exhale all the air out of your lungs. Once you do like 3 to 5 of those, you're going to switch to a tension exhale. It's going to sound like this. Again, silent, slow, and smooth. Nice full inhale in through the nose. Sense that expansion. And as you exhale, imagine like you're letting air out of a tire. Same idea here. Do like 3 to 5 of those. Again, can you maintain alignment? Ribs and pelvis stacked. Can you sense that inhalation? Can you sense the expansion upon inhalation all the way around 360 degrees? And then can you manage that position and the pressure, feeling the engagement in the core as you exhale with that tension exhale? Another cue that we used was imagine like you're trying to push your thumb and index finger out of your midsection. Right, as I'm contracting, I'm trying to push or prevent my thumb and index finger from coming in to my midsection. That's what we call bracing. Now, to take it a step further, we're going to, upon the next inhalation, we're going to lighten up in the heels as much as we can while still maintaining that stacked position, ribs over pelvis, ribs in line with pelvis, while maintaining that nice, good expansion upon inhalation. And same thing, managing that exhalation. Feeling that brace in your core like you're trying to push your thumb and index finger out or preventing it from coming in. Again, 3 to 5. Now, if I want to take this a step further, I can take my heels all the way off the ball. Same thing. Can I maintain that stacked position, rib cage and pelvis? Can I sense that expansion upon inhalation all the way around? And can I manage this position in the breath and the pressure in the abdomen with that exhalation? Now, as soon as I start to lose my ability to maintain that structure, I'm out. I'm done. Again, same thing, like 3 to 5 nice deep breaths. Or again, if you start to lose your ability to maintain that neutral or stacked rib cage position, the sensation of expansion upon inhalation, and then that the management of that pressure, the bracing, that even bracing all the way around. That's what you're checking for. Can I brace that core? And can I feel that muscle contract all the way around? Or is there a deficit? So as you inhale, can I feel that expansion all the way around, or is there a deficit? And if there is, can I inhale into that space? I can use my thumb or index finger to help kind of cue me to inhale into that space. And then as I exhale, can I brace that core? And is it all the way around? Using that tension to exhale. And if it's not, can I kind of poke into that area and cue that bracing? Hey, Bob, I hope this is helpful. It's a great place to start. This is it's your deadlift, right? That's the position. That's the bracing we want to use with your deadlift. Again, we don't want too much pressure, right? Or we're going to create too much pressure becomes an issue as well. That's why we want that tension exhale. But without the inhale, without that expansion, we're not going to be able to support our spine and our pelvis. Hey, man, I hope this is helpful. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions, and I'll see you next week. Aloha.